The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery." John 8 verse 3, adding adultery in marriage. Let us look at the dangerous effects of adultery according to this text. Number one, if you look at verse 1, adultery introduces in your life teachers of the law. Number two, adultery introduces in your lives Pharisees. Number three, they made her stand before the group. Adultery makes you stand before the group. Number four, in verse 5, in the law of Moses, commanded us to stoning. Number 5. Now, what do you see? They were using this question as a trap in order to have basis for accusing him. Accusation. Okay. If you may consider that story, it continues, but Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and he said to them, "If any one of you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." And then he repeated the same. And it says, at least those who had begun to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left with the woman still standing. Let us look at the last point is guilt conscious striking. Key number 1, when this woman was caught in adultery, the Bible says she was brought by the teachers of the law. Adultery puts you under the law of Moses. So why is adultery dangerous? It makes grace not work on you. So the moment they caught her in the very act, the Bible says she was brought by the teachers of the law, and they proclaimed the law of Moses. So adultery, if you commit adultery puts you under the Torah, puts you under the law, not under the grace. That is why Paul was saying, every other sin a man commits is outside the body, but he who commits sexual sin sins against the body. So adultery, key number 1, will make you not to attract grace. You are put under the law. Number 2 is Pharisees. Pharisees were symbolic of hypocrisy. They were symbols of hypocrisy and apostasy and religiosity. So the adultery would put you under Pharisees' system. Pharisee system is the system of self-righteousness and hypocrisy and apostasy. They mostly function through religion. That's why you notice people who commit adultery, immediately they will either withdraw from the church and go to a church where they would be comfortable, or they will go back to the back benches. They start sitting on the back benches, or they will altogether stop going to church. Because adultery, when committed, it now puts you under the system of the Pharisees. So you mostly start functioning as a hypocrite. And you become apostatic. These are the people who will justify why they do what they do. They do not come to right. Remember the Pharisee who came to say, I'm not like that tax collector who is a thief. Number 3, adultery would make you stand before the group. What does that mean? Adultery will always publicly embarrass you. Because she had committed the adultery, she is now put before the group and she's made to stand there. So people are now seeing an adulteress or an adulteress. Where was the man? When you commit adultery, chances are you are made to stand before the group, meaning you are private failures, or your inner life, that is your sexual life, it becomes or is released to public gallery. You are brought to the wrenching of the public court. So if you commit adultery, notice the moment you commit adultery, people start speaking about you publicly, and they don't feel guilt, or they are discussing about you. Something else you need to know about adultery. The Bible says, according to the law, it is stated, be stoned. Adultery attracts stoning. What does stoning mean? Stoning means curses that you cannot avoid. People malign you. This is at the point whereby people curse you, and those curses stand. Stoning is a picture of cursing. Something else is trap. The Bible says they were using this question as a trap to Jesus. So adultery introduces snares. You will notice adultery is a form of a cage. Because what if Jesus had said, stone her? He would have failed and he would have entered into a trap. So meaning you are not the Messiah. So adultery will always introduce a trap in your life. Something else is accusation. Every time adultery is committed, the next thing you will start hearing is the life of accusation. You will even be accused of something you have not done. People even will be saying you are a womanizer when you are completely transformed, because adultery creates an atmosphere of accusation. Last but not least is guilty conscience striking. Jesus used this question of adultery and he said, if anyone is without sin, let him be the first one to cast the stone. What does that mean? Adultery is used in bringing conscious judgment. It now brings that guilt consciousness, self-condemnation. When Jesus used that to attack them, they were all guilt conscious.